we have another question from Jasper asking about internships and how students find them. I thought maybe if any of you want to weigh in on what you've done over the summers, and then to his question, add a little context of how you found those internships.
I can start. I had an internship in 2018 over the summer, working for a material supply company local to where I live in Pennsylvania, called Pensy Supply. I got that internship through a family friend. I was able to get set up with an interview that way, and then my engineering background and my background at JMU is really what got me the job. It's nice to have someone to get your foot in the door, but after that, it was all me. I really enjoyed that internship program that they had there, and I got to work with other students from different schools. One, I was the only female out of the 10 interns that they had, and two, I was the only one from JMU. So I was able to work with other interns that had different backgrounds, and was really able to play on some of my strengths that JMU engineering gives us, mainly in communicating my ideas and thoughts to, we had a presentation at the end that was to the president of the company. He liked it and offered me a position for the next year. But as far as my job goes, I actually got it through the career fair at JMU. We have one that's specific to science, our College of Integrated Science and Engineering. I went and had my resume in hand, gave it to John Moriarty, and they called me for an interview. And from there, I just ran with it. I didn't really see myself being in the DC area, but I am really happy with my choice. So that's kind of how I got a job. I know other students that have got internships and from that career fair as well. You always think it's a myth that people get jobs and internships from the career fair, but it actually does happen.
My first internship I had with the help from just my dad, word of mouth. He knew a construction company near my house in New Jersey, and so I was a mechanical engineering intern through that, which was a great experience, but it also kind of showed me that that wasn't what I wanted to get into. It was really helpful too. It's always important. And then the internship I got at Nissan, I actually just applied on their website and heard back from them like the next day. So I found that a lot of the time it helps to apply directly on if you have an idea of the type of company you want to work for, rather than those websites that post a bunch of jobs, because I'm not sure if sometimes it goes through to them or if they see it. So maybe using those sites to find the position and then going right to the company's website might be a more direct way of finding one that helped me. Same with my job at GM. I kind of was watching out for the position to open up. The earlier the better when you start looking for these things. And then just also just to clarify, applying to as many as possible. So I remember I applied to, must have been like hundreds of jobs, and not hundreds, but a lot of jobs. And so the more chance you'll hear back. And also JMU has a resource called Handshake, which is really helpful to find jobs. They post jobs there that you can upload all your information and resumes. So it's kind of like the LinkedIn for JMU. And it also has all these employers that specifically love JMU students. So that's super helpful as well.
I can talk a little bit. I can't speak on specifically internships, but kind of what everyone else has said. There's job boards and resources available on campus that have helped so many people. That being said, I have not had a summer internship or an internship that I've held during the year. I over my summers worked at a summer camp. I studied abroad over one summer, and I worked in the research lab. So an internship isn't necessarily an end-all be-all either. There's also lots of different opportunities that students are able to explore over their summers.
The internships that I got were through connections, and that's how it happens a lot of times, which is unfortunate for some people who might not have those strong connections to a field that they want to go into. So I think just keeping in mind that it's not going to determine your complete future if you don't get an internship for one summer, that there's still other options, and as long as you do what you can when you're in school and kind of let that shine through too.
Yeah, it's all really great wisdom. I was going to add, I think Lindsay, Elizabeth, JoJo, and Andrea all kind of hinted at this. Certainly there's all, in terms of jobs and internships, there's all the sort of typical things like career fairs that you might expect. There's internal posting boards that engineering keeps. And then there's newer strategies like Handshake, which is this online system, as Lindsay mentioned. But I think more importantly, I'd encourage all prospective students, all students, to think about, why is it that somebody would want to hire you? And I think the reason why I mention that is really at the kind of having that empathy to get in the shoes of the employer a bit and think through. The answer to that is often good reasons to better select a college experience, a university and or a degree program that's going to help you position yourself well. And so all four of our panelists just mentioned the importance of opting into things that are going to build your professional development, build your portfolio of experiences. And by doing that, you're going to have things that answer the question of, why would somebody want to hire me? It's a sort of experiential learning. It's the projects that Dr. Nagel mentioned earlier, all that coming together, because it's not grades, it's not the classes you take, it's what you have done, what you can do for an employer that really is at the heart of obtaining an internship. The other parts are just means to connect you to possibilities. And those are all really helpful and important, but it's so easy using the internet to find the opportunities like Lindsay mentioned on a number of occasions, that what the universities add to that is just simply additional sort of opportunities. But there's so many good ways for you to connect with others. But at the heart of it, just keep investing in yourself, semester after semester, with meaningful ways to engage as an engineering student, and you'll be positioned well. The job market is almost always robust in engineering, both for full-time and internships. It's certainly getting a little more questionable right now because of the COVID crisis as to how this summer unfolds for interns. But by and large, the long-term prospects are engineering is one of the strongest choices you can make.
If I may, I was going to say that's great advice from Dr. Patterson. And also to answer Jasper's question, we have a number of alumni now that are going off to their respective companies and making a sizable impact on their leadership. And so now their companies want to come back and recruit our JMU students. And so we have a lot of strong connections in many industries that want to hire our students.